Hello to everyone and welcome to the 3 by the Sea Designs YouTube channel. My name is Kim and this podcast is all about the 3 by the Sea Designs life that I'm living here in sunny Florida with my mom Dreama and my sister Becky. We have a shop where we sell our handmade things. We sell project bags, stitch markers, and hand-dyed yarn for knitters and crocheters. So welcome to everyone. This is episode 33 and today is Friday, August 11th, 2023. On this podcast, I talk a lot about our shop and things that we have going on, upcoming sales and upcoming shop updates. I show off finished objects, which I have one here that I'm wearing, and works in progress, and just anything and everything that is related to our business and to a little bit of personal life as well. If you are new to the channel, thank you so much for checking it out. I hope you will like and subscribe to the channel if you like the content. And if you're returning, for all of our loyal viewers and customers, thank you guys so much for supporting us. We love and appreciate each and every one of you. I feel like I don't say that enough. So today's episode is completely jam-packed. It's gonna be a super fun one, actually. I have new yarn to show you. I have a finished object. I have two, actually. And then I also, so last episode, I told you guys that I was gonna be doing some dye swatching and I was gonna take you on that journey. And I recorded an entire vlog of me showing you the process of dyeing the swatches, and I also did a couple of salty skeins that I'm going to show you that we're going to use as giveaways today. So it's so fun. I really hope you guys enjoy it. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So let's talk some shop news. Right now in the shop, we're having a flash sale from today, Saturday, and through Sunday. Everything in the shop is on sale, including yarn, stitch markers, patterns, all of it's on sale. So we're trying to make room for our fall collection. So there's one last push to clear out some things from the shop, and definitely take advantage of the sale if you haven't already. And thank you to everyone who has. You guys have been stocking up on Christmas things. You've been really taking advantage of the summer collection that we have in the shop. And now the yarn is on sale as well. So only through Sunday though, it'll end on Sunday. Last year for Halloween, we did a really fun mystery countdown calendar called a Spooky Soirée. And it was a stitch marker countdown calendar. We also had an additional project bag and yarn sock set that you could purchase as well. This year we're not doing a countdown calendar, but trust me, they will be back in the future. But we decided, since everyone loved the colorway so much last year from the Spooky Soirée, we decided to bring that to the shop. So starting next Saturday, August 19th, Spooky Soirée will be in the shop. This is what it looks like. It is such a fun colorway for Halloween. It comes with two minis, a purple and an orange. Last year it just came with the purple, but we loved it with the orange. So we decided to add the orange and make it a 2 mini sock set. The colorway has, let me pull it out of here actually. The full skein is so beautiful. This is on our Sanibel base, which is a 75-25 superwash merino nylon blend. It has so many fun Halloween colors in it. Oranges and silver gray. It even has some speckling. It's got brown and black. And it was so popular last year. Everyone loved it for their mystery sock set. So we decided to add it to the shop in just a regular update. So starting next Saturday, which is the 19th, it will be available in our shop. We will have it on Sanibel sock sets, as well as DK weight sock sets. So that's a lot of fun. We've never offered it on DK before. Actually, we've never even offered this in the shop. It was just available last year as a mystery. So Spooky Soirée will be added to the shop. I believe we made some singles as well. So sock sets on Sanibel and our Destin base, and then singles on our Sanibel base as well. If this sells out, we will probably put it on a pre-order since it's so far out from Halloween still. It would give us time to put up a pre-order and dye some more before Halloween. So that is Spooky Soirée. We just love it, love it, love it. And we've seen it, we've seen several people knit with it, and it turned out beautiful. If I can find some pictures on Instagram, I will, also in our reviews on Etsy, I'll try to find some pictures and post them up here so you can see what it looks like knit up. It's a very random type of, and there's a little tiny bit of striping in there with the black. But it's mostly just random kind of marled together colors. So that's Spooky Soirée. We're really, really, really excited to be bringing this to the shop. So many people asked us last year that weren't able to get the pre-orders if it would be in the shop, and we said, well, we'll bring it back next year. So that's what we've done. And then on August 25th, so a week after that, basically 2 weeks from today, we will have our next mystery sock set in the shop. This is something I've been talking to you guys for months now. It is going to be a Halloween theme, and the theme is Haunted Mansion. So the name of the colorway is going to be called Grim Grinning Ghosts. At least I think that's what we're going to name it, but this is the inspiration picture that we came up with for this yarn. It's a sock set, which will have one mini with it. There will be an optional add-on for a coordinating progress keeper. We're really, really excited about this one. We are huge Disney fans. And Haunted Mansion is like one of our favorite rides at Disney. And we're just really, really excited to bring this to a yarn colorway. So it is a limited pre-order. If you are wanting this, I would definitely order as soon as it comes out. And I don't know that we'll be able to add more once those are sold out. I'm not positive on that. We'll see how our numbers are. But it'll go up for sale on August 25th, and it will ship out September 25th, right in time for all of your Halloween projects. If we can get it out before the 25th, we will, but the 25th is our deadline. So what else do we have to talk about? The only other date I wanted to mention is our fall collection. That is going to be going up on September 9th. It will be brand new yarn, project bags, and stitch markers. And we're really excited about this update, as we are all of our updates. But fall is always so special and always such rich, beautiful colors. And so that will be September 9th. Just to recap, right now there's a flash sale going on in the shop until Sunday. Next Saturday, August 19th, is the Spooky Soirée update in the shop. And then the following Friday, which is the 25th, the Haunted Mansion Mystery Sock Set will go up for pre-order purchase. And then September 9th is our fall collection update. That's it for shop news. Let's talk about my finished object, which is what I'm wearing. So this is the Gofleidio Shrug by Expression Fiber Arts, and I used my Avery Lane Creations subscription. I've been saving this subscription and sort of just waiting for the right pattern to come along, and it did. So this is a DK weight shrug, and you start from one end with your cuff and work your way all the way around to the other end. You make your increases, and then once you get to a certain point, you change from working in the round to working flat back and forth, and you fade in these colors. So it was such a fun project. I loved the color choices that I made. I loved the pattern itself. It was extremely easy to follow. And I wove my ends in as I went, so I only had 2 ends to weave in, which was really nice at the beginning and at the end. And it was just such a fun project. Let me show you guys. Now, before I blocked it, I was like, oh, I don't know, because I tried it on, of course, and it was all bunched up. It was really short in the back, and I was like, I don't know if I like this. But once I blocked it, the power and magic of blocking, it totally transformed. So if you do decide to make this pattern, definitely don't judge it until you've blocked it. I will say, sitting here in Florida, it is very warm on because it's DK weight and it's wool. So I don't know that this would be something good for summer, but I wanted to wear it at least to show it to you. And it is going to be a perfect addition to my wardrobe for cooler days in the fall and the winter. But I like that it's open here because in Florida, I need that. And you can definitely feel the air coming through when you have it open like this. Let me stand up and show you. And again, once I blocked it, it really came down pretty far, which is nice. And I just love it. What else can I say about this? I did use my Avery Lane Creation subscription, which is a DK weight. You get a skein every month along with extra goodies. And so you just fade the colors in, and it's symmetrical. So when you get to the middle point, you basically start over, but you work backwards and go back down through your fade. One of my acquisitions for my Happy Meal is something that I needed to block this, because I didn't have any blocking mats that would be big enough or long enough or wide enough to block this. So I'll explain how I blocked it a little bit later on. But that's my Gofleidio, I hope I'm saying that right, Gofleidio shawl by Expression Fiber Arts. My second finished object is a pair of socks. These I called my Flower Power socks because that is the name of the yarn that I used. This yarn was from our summer collection. It's so fun. I love the colors. This is a pair of shorties for my daughter Olivia. I have been making her lots of socks lately because I have so many and she doesn't have that many, so I figured I would make some shorties for her because she loves shorty socks. So basically it's just a plain vanilla sock. I did do a 2x2 ribbing and immediately started the heel because I kept going in a 2x2 ribbing for the heel, just to give it a little bit extra stretchy. Let me show you what it looks like off of the blocker. And then I just did the gusset, the heel turn and gusset just like you would normally. And then I did a regular toe as well for her. So these will be going to her when I see her on Sunday. And what else can I say about these? The yarn was really fun to work with. This was our Flower Power colorway. It has lots of fun neon speckles in it. It was a completely speckled, well, it wasn't super speckled, but it looks speckled as a colorway. But it was very random and just all over color. And it has little pops of speckly neon colors all throughout. Very Flower Power hippie vibes going on in this sock. So that is my second finished object. As far as works in progress go, it has been so hot here in Florida. I mean, I think it's been like across the country, like record highs. But Florida has been so hot and so muggy. With the heat index, it's been like in the 110s. So I haven't really done much knitting other than on socks, which is totally fine because I love knitting socks. But I was hoping to get some progress done on some of my garments and my blanket that I'm working on. But that has not happened. So I'm just gonna show you some progress on the socks that I've been working on. I actually have a new cast on with a pair of socks from that cotton yarn that I showed you guys last time. So, and then I decided that I'm not gonna cast on any new socks. I'm gonna finish the 3. One of them's almost done, one pair. I'm gonna finish those 3 pairs and then I will get to working on the garments that I've started and the blanket. I wanna finish Olivia's blanket. So, but it's just been so hot. I mean, I know across the country it's been hot, like I was saying, but Florida, I don't know. It's been really hot. Every day I wake up and on my phone, there's a notification for a heat advisory until 7 p.m. every day. And it's unbearable to even have anything remotely woolly on you or to be working on. I just haven't felt like working on anything besides socks. So once I finished my shrug, I just continued working on socks. And that's what I've been doing. So I'm going to show you some progress I have on those. The first pattern I'm going to show you, the first socks, this pattern is called 2 heels and a toe. I will put the picture up of the pattern here. And it is, I'm almost finished actually. So it's it's a fun and kind of unique pattern. So basically you're knitting 2 socks at the same time, but you're not having to do them in the traditional 2 at a time socks. So the way the pattern is written, you start off and you've knit a long tube, but you've also done your heels at the same time. So this is where I'm at. I have cast off the first toe, and now I'm going to go back and pick up where I put in these lifelines. So the pattern tells you what to do, how to create these lifelines. And so now I will go back, I'll pick those up and cut this in half basically. And then I will start, so let's see, I've done the cuff on this one. So I have the toe left to do here. And then I've done the toe on this one. So now I have a cuff left to do on this one. So once I've cut these and split them into 2, I'll just have a cuff and a toe left to do. So this was a fun way to do these. I do sometimes get second sock syndrome, so I thought this would be a good way to try doing 2 at a time without having to split the skein in half. Speaking of the skein, this is the yarn that I'm using. This is a self-striping yarn by String Theory Colorworks, 75/25 superwash merino nylon, and the colorway is called Exoplanet. It's such a fun stripe. It's just 3 colors. which I kind of like because you really get to see the colors, see the bigger stripes. And then I used for the heels, I used a gray mini that I had. I don't remember where it came from. So that, and I did the butterfly heel by K. Jones. And then I just did a regular rounded toe, just the traditional toe. So I've never gone back and picked up stitches like this before and cut the yarn like you would when you do an afterthought heel or when you are separating two pieces. I've never done that before, so this part makes me a little nervous, and I just wanted to show you guys the process of where I'm at before I do that. So I'm excited to, now that I've shown this to you, I'm excited to try it. I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited about it. So the pattern, 2 heels and a toe, it's by WorstedWolf is her name on Instagram. I will put her name down below if I haven't already shown you what it is. So I could see me definitely doing more socks this way. I will let you know how it works out. I have these socks in this adorable bag by the Creative Knitter. Such a cute sock project bag. My next sock project is in this super cute bag that my mom made. So it's a 3 by the Sea Designs bag. And I finished one of my TV tint socks. So if you remember on the last episode, I talked all about our colorway that we jokingly named TV tint. This was a sort of prototype colorway for that we were trying to come up with our seashells colorway, and it got way too green, but we kept it because, you know, we didn't throw away any yarn. And so I decided I was going to cast on with it and see what it would look like, just to show you that sometimes those salty skeins that you might have that you might not think look good, try them in a sock pattern because they will end up being super cute. So this is what it looks like. Let me put it on a blocker. So I finished one of them and this is what it looks like. Such a fun colorway, right? So it just goes to show you that if you have a skein in your shop that isn't as aesthetically pleasing as you would want it to be, sometimes what it looks like in the skein, like twisted up, is not at all how it's going to turn out. So I thought it was really, really cute. I cast on 72 stitches for the cuff, and I did a 2x2 ribbing, and then I decreased down for the leg to 64 stitches. I did a regular slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset, and I continued with that stitch count for the rest of the sock. I have started the second one. I'm still on the ribbing, I think. Yes, I'm still on the cuff. This is all I've gotten done. I'm almost done with it. So I am really enjoying this, and I loved the process from seeing it from start to finish, from twisted up in the skein to caked up, looked completely different, and then from the cake to the sock. It just goes to show you again that you never know how cute it's going to end up looking in the skein. In the finished product. My last work in progress is in my super cute 3 by the Sea Designs sock project bag. This is our new size, our sock size drawstrings. And this was a project bag that we came out with right before summer. And look at my super cute pin. I showed you guys these a couple weeks ago. I got this pin at Walmart, believe it or not. It says Happy Camper. So last week or last episode, I showed a skein of yarn that I wanted to try. This is I hope I have the tag. Yes. This is a Regia yarn. It's cotton. And I was looking online at these. So last time I said that the color was Tutti Frutti, but actually the Tutti Frutti is the sort of collection of this yarn. The actual color is just a number, 02418. And I want to say online they called this one Kiwi, which would make sense because there's a kiwi on the picture. So this is a 72% cotton, 18% polyamide, 10% polyester. So it definitely has that stretchy sort of nylon in it, but it's also cotton. So it's very, very soft. I love how it's caked up already. So, and this is where I'm at so far. I was a little worried at first because when I cast on 64 stitches, and I always cast on doing magic loop because I don't like to cast on with the little 9-inch circulars because it's too fiddly. So when I had it on the long circular needle, doing it for magic loop for the cuff, it was very big, and I was like, ooh, I don't know if this is gonna look okay, but I kept going with it. And then once I got into the leg and I switched to the 9-inch circulars, it sort of cinched up like it normally would. So if you decide to try cotton yarn, just be mindful of that sometimes the cuff looks kind of funny at first, but it is so soft. It feels like, doesn't feel quite like a store-bought sock, but it's pretty close to that. And I just thought in Florida, this would be perfect sock material. Now the the heel that I did is a heel from a pattern that I made a while back called the mermaid, is it called the mermaid tail socks? I'll put up the name of the pattern that I took this heel from. So a long time ago I made that pattern, but I didn't make that heel because I just used a regular slip stitch heel. But this heel is not a slip stitch heel, it's just a regular knit heel. It does have the, where you pick up the stitches. I did the heel turn and then the gusset. So everything else is the same. The only difference is that you just knit and purl for the heel. And I'll link that pattern below if you're interested in it, because it's actually a really pretty pattern. But so I just took the heel from that pattern and did a plain vanilla sock. I did, I think, 10 rounds for the cuff and then 10 rounds of leg. And then I started the heel. 10 or 12 rounds, I can't remember. So I'm really loving it. And then of course I'm using the light bulbs to keep count. Trick that I learned from the crazy sock lady. Now I will say working with cotton is very, very different. When I've been knitting with this for a while and then I go back to my other socks, I notice immediately a difference. The cotton yarn is tougher to work with. Naturally, cotton doesn't stretch like wool does, so it's a little bit tougher on your hands to work with, but it hasn't hurt my hands to work on it at all. But I have noticed it doesn't go quite as smoothly as when I'm knitting with wool for my socks. So I'm really, really, really loving it. These are for me. If I have enough, which I don't think I will, but if I have enough, I might make Olivia a pair of shorties as well, but we will see. And I don't remember if I showed this or not, so I'm gonna show it one more time. I did find online, I found a whole collection of this yarn. So after I'm done with these, if I like the way they feel, I might get some more of the collection and have some cotton shorties to wear for the summertime here. So that was my new cast on and the third work in progress that I've been working on. And that's pretty much it. I haven't been working on Olivia's blanket. I haven't been working on my rocket tee. I haven't done anything with my my Anchor summer shirt that I'm using the cotton linen yarn for. Like I said, it's just been socks for me because it's been so hot. But no more new sock cast-ons, even though I had tons of plans. No new sock cast-ons. When these are done, I'm going to focus on getting those garments finished and do some knitting plans for fall. Let me quickly show you my happy mail before I start the vlog. So I got my Avery Lane subscription and I had to show you this yarn because it's super cute. Avery Lane Creations is a yarn dyer. Her name is Nikki. This one is called Strawberry Swirl Bubblegum. This is a DK weight 85/15 superwash merino nylon. And I love getting her subscription every month. It also came with some extras. AKH, A Naughty Habit Designs. And it came with a macaroon stitch marker case. Really cute. And it came with this Lip Smart Powerful Hydration for Dry Lips. So that was my July subscription. Nikki has a podcast also. You should definitely check out. I will link all of her stuff below. The other thing I got was, okay, so remember how I said I needed something to block my shrug? Well, I had thought a while back about getting a yoga mat to use as a blocking mat. You know, when you're blocking something, you usually have those interlocking squares that are foam. Well, a yoga mat is foam too, basically, and it rolls up so you can easily store it. So anyway, I got a yoga mat on Amazon. This is the packaging that it came with. It looks like this. I got one that was extra wide. Normally yoga mats are only, I think, 24 inches wide, and I got one that was 32 inches wide. So it's got an extra 6 inches of width, which is really nice. And the length, I want to say it's 72. Yes, so it's 32 by 72, which is a really nice size. When you're wanting to block a longer shawl, or you're wanting to block, my shrug fit perfectly on the yoga mat. So I just laid it out. I'll put a picture up of it here. I laid it out and I pinned everything down just like I normally would with blocking mats. It's got, I wanna say a 1/4 inch thickness. So I do wish it was a little bit thicker, but I'm okay with it and it worked perfectly. So it's nice and soft, and I can roll it up when I'm not using it. It came with it even came with a little bag that I can put it in. It's the eco-friendly TPE yoga mat, and I got it on Amazon. So it worked like a charm for blocking. So if you're needing something, like a lot of blocking mats are kind of expensive. So if you're needing something sort of quick and easy and not too expensive, I want to say it was like $32 or $36 for this. Definitely try one because it was great. I'm really, really happy with it. I don't know how I even thought about it. I think I was just thinking, oh, I need to get blocking mats. And so I just started thinking about purchasing them. And then I was like, well, why wouldn't a yoga mat work? It would seem like it would work perfectly, and it did. So highly recommend trying a yoga mat to block things. Are you guys ready for the really fun vlog that I made to show you our dye swatching process? So basically what I did last week was I had 12 dye colors that I wanted to swatch. So I'm gonna take you on that dye swatch process. And I also came up with 2 salty skeins, which are our one-of-a-kind colorways. And I showed you the process of how I dyed one of them. So I'm gonna show that to you now, and then I will come back and show you the end result of how everything turned out. Becky and I had pulled out all of these swatches to look at some fall colors, and so I thought I would take you guys on my dye swatching journey because I have quite a few dyes that I want to swatch. So, but I just wanted you to see them all sitting there on the table. This is what we do when we are trying to come up with a new colorway. We pull out all of these beautiful swatches and just see what looks good together. So that's why we do the swatches every time we get new dye colors. For now, our dye swatches are stored on this sort of drying rack. Sorry, I had to turn my dehumidifier off because it was making too much noise. Anyway, so this is what we keep them on for now. We're actually gonna switch over to one of these bigger drying racks. So we're gonna get another one of these because this is what I hang the yarn on to dry. But we're gonna get another one of these and use it just for the swatches and sort of have a color wheel type thing going on. So anyway, I'm going to be doing some of these swatches today, and I thought maybe you guys would enjoy seeing the process again. I've done this before on the podcast, but never in like true detail. So I'm gonna try to be as detailed with it as possible because I know so many of you say you love seeing the process of swatching the yarn or swatching the dyes and then seeing the end results. These two together, oh my goodness. What is it with orange and teal? I love those together. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so first thing I do is, we buy these 10-gram minis. They're called micro minis. And they're just a 75-25 superwash merino nylon blend. And this is what we do, we use for the depth of shade swatches. So we do 5 per dye color, and we test from lightest shade to darkest shade, whatever that looks like for that particular dye color. Some we do on the lighter end of the shades, some we do on the darker end, depending on how saturated the dyes are. I've got some minis soaking here in a just container of tap water and mixed in a little bit of citric acid to let them soak for a little while. And then I'm going to get started on making the stock solutions for these dyes. So today we're going to do pecan brown, espresso bean, champagne, ecru, deep magenta, and chocolate brown. All of these are Dharma. The only one that's fiber reactive is the ecru. The rest of them are just the regular Dharma Acid Dyes. Fiber reactive dyes you can use on any fibers, including plant-based fibers like cotton and linen. Dharma Acid Dyes you can use on any type of dyes like wool, like protein-based fibers, silk, nylon. So there is a little bit of a difference there. These dyes will not dye things like cotton, but the fiber reactive dyes will. So those are our first 6. If I have time, I'm also going to do these 6: Atomic Fireball, Intense Iris, Chinese Red, Indigo, Black Cherry, and Cayenne Red. So that is the plan. Let's see how much of it I actually get done. I dye my swatches in glass mason jars. So each color gets 5 jars because I'm going to do 5 different shades of that dye. So I use these catering pans. This is what we dye the yarn in. Inside the catering pan is a metal sort of drying rack type of thing that I got on Amazon. It's raised up off of the bottom of the catering pan, so the glass jars are not touching the bottom of the pan because I don't want them to crack. So I raise them up probably about ½ an inch or so off of the bottom. So I can do 3 colors in this pan and 3 colors in that pan. Okay, so I want to explain a little bit of what I'm doing here to make the stock solutions. I wanted to make a 1% stock solution for each dye, which means that there is 1 gram of dye in each of these cups. I measured them out using my digital scale. So I put 1 gram of dye in each cup, and I'm going to mix that with 100 milliliters of water. So a 1% stock solution is 1 gram of dye mixed with 100 milliliters of water. And that is sort of the basis that most stock solutions is 1%. You can make 2% stock solutions, 3%. We like to do a baseline of 1% stock solutions and then break it down from there into the different depth of shades. I use a series of different measuring tools. When I'm just trying to get an approximate, like 100 milliliters, I'll use something like this, which is just a beaker. When I'm trying to get exact measurements, I will go ahead and use my graduated cylinders. So for these, I just use a beaker. I fill it up with 100 milliliters of water and then pour them into the cups. One of the reasons why I love to do dye swatches is because you just never know what you're gonna get with colors. So, especially when you do all the different depth of shades. So, like, this is champagne. That's pretty typical. This one is pecan brown. This is chocolate brown. Love it. The fiber reactive chocolate brown looks very similar to this, very pinky. But as you get into these darker chocolate brown shades, they are turning out so gorgeous. But, okay, and then this is ecru. Very typical. There's not gonna be a whole lot of variation with ecru because it's a very light dye. It's not saturated at all. There's going to be good variation with this one. This is deep magenta, and then this one is espresso bean, but look how beautiful it's turning out. So you would think espresso bean, okay, brown, right? But look how purple that's turning out. It's so gorgeous. It's coming out through the camera a little bit lighter than what it is in real life, but look at these darker shades. Look at that one. How gorgeous. So it's gonna be like a rich purpley brown. I can't wait to see what these look like dry and twisted up. Okay, so while the swatches are cooking, I am going to do something with all of these leftover dyes. I thought it would be fun to just do a one-of-a-kind salty skeins. This base is one of our practice bases. It's an 80/20 merino nylon fingering weight. Here's all the specs on it. This is the dyer that, this is the company that is no longer in business. As far as we know, we haven't checked in a couple months, but when we were figuring out our sourcing, we had bought a bunch of yarn from them, 75/25 and 80/20. We love this yarn. Hopefully one day it will be back. I mean, we love our base too, but we really like this one a lot. So anyway, I've got 2 of these soaking. So I'm only gonna use 2, I think, because there's not a ton of dye here. But we're gonna mix these all in, browns and pinks. Now the ecru and the champagne are not gonna come through as much because there's just a teeny tiny amount of it. You're not gonna see that as much, but you will see the browns and this pink mixing. I'll try to space these out to where it doesn't mix with anything so you can see that ecru as well. So I'm excited to see what this looks like. This is exactly how Blossoms Over Tokyo was made. We had a bunch of purples and pinks that we were swatching and had leftover dye, and so we mixed them all together and made Blossoms Over Tokyo. So I don't know that this one would ever become a colorway in the shop. Obviously it would depend on how it looks and how it turns out, but good things always come from sort of just hodgepodge, like random techniques that you try. Lily Pond is also how this, how we made Lily Pond this way, and that has been by far probably our most popular colorway. That and she sells seashells, but definitely Lily Pond, and Lily Pond was made this way as well, with just random leftover colors. So you guys remember I had just a teeny tiny bit left of ecru, and I filled it up with water, and I'm just gonna pour it And probably this one and champagne, I'm just gonna put in one spot on the skein so you can really see it. And do the same thing with champagne. This one I don't care as much if it moves around as much as if it spreads. When you have 2 skeins in the pot compared to 3, things spread a little bit more. So you kind of have to move stuff around and get it all covering the bottom of the pan. All right, so now espresso bean. Now this one is very saturated, so I'm not gonna pour it just all over. I'm gonna sort of just take my spoon and do little bits of it all around. Just to kind of give it some random color. You can see how concentrated this dye is. I will make a couple areas that have a higher surface area of it. It looks so pretty over here with this ecru color. I forgot to turn on the burner. So let me plug this in. Make sure that it's all right. When I'm doing a colorway like this, I like to have the heat on already. I forgot to do that, but that's totally okay. All right, so that is, do you see how little I had to put of espresso bean? I may come back and add more, but it's always good to go on the lighter side at first, and because you can always add more later. And now we have chocolate brown, right? Yes, chocolate brown. I might go a little heavier with chocolate brown. And it's totally okay to put the dye on top of other dye colors. If you're wanting those lighter shades to come through, don't put it on top of that because this dye will definitely take over that area. All right, see, again, very, very little used. And you also want to save some for the back. You notice I'm saving the pink for last because the pink, I don't know why I'm doing that actually. I'm not sure about that pink, it may spread, so I kind of want to put it on last, just to make sure that it doesn't take over everything. Okay, this is pecan brown. This one's much darker. It's almost like a grayish brown. It's really pretty. I'll go back at the end and mix these all in together before I put the pink on. All right, so now I'm just gonna kind of mix these all together. I'm purposely leaving lighter areas because I want there to be a lot of variation. right, now let's go back and add that pink in, and then we'll see if there's any brown areas that we want to add back in. Okay, deep magenta, here we go. I've never used deep magenta before, so I really have no idea how it, the kind of characteristics it has. Each dye color has different characteristics. Let's do a little bit here, and a little bit here. I like to do things kind of all over. We like a very random look to it, and it knits up so beautifully when you do it that way. Okay, I think that's enough pink. What do y'all think? All right, I'm gonna let this sit for just a couple minutes. I'm gonna add, and then I'll flip them over, and then we'll evaluate how it looks. All right, so I flipped them over, and this is what it looks like on the second side. I'm loving the pink in there with the brown and the little bits of cream. So cute. So I'm not gonna go as heavy on the second side with these, but I don't have any of the creams left, so I'm gonna go with the browns and pink. I kind of want to go even heavier with the browns, so I'm going to do another round of the 3 that I have. So I'm going to go back through with espresso bean. I might even just do this and push it down as I go. Because like I was saying, I want it to be heavy on the brown. Give it some good fall vibes. I am loving this color. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. All right, let's put a tiny bit of pink, because we don't want it to go too pink. We want it to stay on the brown side. I have a feeling this is a color that if you use too much, it's gonna take over. So I'm not gonna use too much. I'm gonna mix it in. This color reminds me a little bit of Pink Orchid, which is another dye color from Dharma. All right. I am loving this. I cannot wait to see how it looks when it's all done. All right, so let's check on our dye swatches. So mostly everything is exhausted. The 3%ers back here, well, this one did exhaust, but pecan brown and chocolate brown, you see have a little bit of dye left to go in the 2 and 3%. These lighter shades have definitely exhausted and are gorgeous. I did add a little bit of citric acid to these just to give it some extra help, but really the key is just time and heat. So this is ecru, deep magenta, and espresso bean. You can see how pretty they turned out. Again, the same thing with these darker ones. They're gonna just take a few extra minutes to exhaust, but everything looks really good. So I'll put these on, I'll leave these on for probably another like 30 minutes just to make sure everything exhausts. And then I will turn off the burners and let them cool down. Since the glass gets really hot on the jars, I will probably let them cool off overnight. And that way they still fully exhaust. Sometimes when dyes don't fully exhaust until they've cooled down. So sometimes it's good to leave things overnight. And in the morning, they'll be nice and cool, ready for me to rinse out and to let them dry. So more to come in the morning. Also, I just wanted to show you how our pink and brown colorway turned out. It's absolutely gorgeous. This one I do not have to let stay overnight. So once this cools off, I'll rinse it out and hang it up. This one I'm really excited about. Okay, so I ended up last night taking them out and cleaning the jars and letting these dry because I needed them for this morning. So those are all ready to go. So let me show you what the skeins look like. So I put each color on a zip tie and just hung them up to dry last night. So these are already dry. This was the champagne, this was the magenta, chocolate brown, ecru, espresso bean, and then I have the pecan. I already twisted that one, but I wanted to show you this process first because they dry, and then I twist them up and I put them back on the zip tie like how these are. All right, I'm doing the same thing again today with these Atomic Fireball, Black Cherry, Cayenne Red, Chinese Red, Indigo, and Intense Iris. I'm going to also do a leftover dyes. I'll dye a couple of big skeins with all of these colors because I think the reds and the blues are gonna look really pretty together. Okay, I just have to show these because I'm so excited about these colors. All right, so this is Chinese Red, Indigo, Intense Iris. Look at Intense Iris. It reminds me of Hyacinth. Not at all what it looked like. So this is Intense Iris. And like when you look at it on the spoon, it's not at all what it looks like here. Not to me anyway. I don't know if that was clear, sorry. I kind of zoomed in too much. But anyway, okay, so I can't wait to mix all of these together. Okay, so this is Atomic Fireball, Black Cherry, Look how pretty black cherry is. This is cayenne red. It's like a really pretty orangey red. This one is more on the pink side. A little bit of orange as well, but more pinky red. This is, what did I say this was? This is Chinese red. It's also more, very light. Like even look at the lightest shade, you can already see it. And then indigo and intense iris. I'm really excited about these. I'm just gonna, okay, so I'm gonna kind of do the same thing I did yesterday with those browns and the magenta. I'm gonna mix them all together, the leftovers that I have. This is the leftovers that I have here. As you can see, there's not much left of each of them, but these colors are so intense, some of them anyway, that it's not gonna take much. So I'm going to do exactly what I did yesterday, and then I'll show you guys the results of everything that we've done the last couple days. Okay, so what did you guys think of that dye swatch process and the yarn dyeing process? I'd love to know what you guys think of it. I hope you enjoyed that. I know I always love watching dyers dye yarn and just the process that they go through, and I thought it would be fun to take you guys along on that journey. So I hope you enjoyed that. I want to show you the end result of all of the swatches as well as the yarn skeins that I dyed. So sometimes they look completely different from start to finish. So this is champagne. This one is a more subtle change, but you can definitely see it. This one is espresso bean. This is that one that looked really purple. It's definitely a purpley brown. I don't even know if I would consider this brown. It's got like gray hints to it too, but definitely on the purple side, but I love it. It's beautiful. This is pecan brown. This one is gorgeous. Loving those colors. And this is why we do the dye swatches, because you never know how the color is going to turn out. This one is chocolate brown. And we have ecru. Again, this one is also very subtle. We have intense iris. I love, love, love this one. Now, another thing I wanted to point out, so indigo blues are really, really challenging sometimes. If you notice, I'm just gonna hold this up and see if you notice immediately something that's off. If you notice this one right here, this was supposed to be, this was in the second jar, which was that second shade. So let's see, this one was a 0.25% depth of shade. This one was supposed to be a 0.5 depth of shade. But do you see how it looks different than all the other colors? I did nothing different with these. You can see if I take this one away, you can see that gradual change. So these are all true to the color. But this one just went off the rails for some reason. So I will definitely be re-swatching this color, but I have had issues with blues in the past, particularly darker blues like navies. I don't know what it is about blue, but blue is a really hard colorway, or blue is a really hard dye in general to get right. So that one's the complete oddball. I have no idea what happened here. But I just wanted to point out that this is another good reason why you do dye swatching, to see anomalies, see when things like this happen. Okay, so then we have deep magenta. We love how this one turned out. Black Cherry. Now I can totally see a fade. Like I have a feeling, I love this one so much. I have a feeling that a fade of this in either a shawl or a cardigan or something is definitely in my fall knitting plans because it is just so beautiful. This is Black Cherry. Then we have Cayenne Red. So pretty. We have Chinese Red. I love this one too. And Atomic Fireball. How pretty are these? I'm really happy with how these swatches turned out. So again, 12 different dye colors, but really 60 different colors because each dye color has 5 shades. So the possibilities with dye colors are really just endless. This is all 3 of the reds side by side. So I'm really just so happy with doing these dye swatches. It's given us such a great palette to work with when we are dyeing our colorways, and it allows us to see how colors would look together without actually dyeing a bunch of yarn. So now the salty skein that I showed you that I was dyeing, this is how it turned out. This was the brown and pink colors all together with the ecru and the champagne. Love it, love how it turned out. And I turned it into a sock set. So this is going to be for the giveaway today. This is that magenta color that's in the skein as well. So we thought it would be fun to have as a mini for the sock set. I just love how these two turned out. So pretty. We're gonna keep this one to use as a salty skein when we do another salty skein update. So then I took all of those reds and blues and I made this salty skein. How gorgeous is that? It reminds me a lot of our triple berry tart colorway that we had in the shop last fall, but it's definitely more vibrant because of that intense iris that's in there. So beautiful. I also speckled this one as well, and I made this one into a sock set. So we're actually gonna have 2 giveaways. You guys get to pick one. So we'll have 2 giveaway winners, and you let me know if you would rather have the I don't even know what to call these, the purple, blue, or the brown and pink. Any comment will enter you into the giveaway. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on the process and the vlog that I recorded for you. If you'd like to see more stuff like that, just let me know what your thoughts were about watching that process. Or any comment, it doesn't have to be about that, but any comment will enter you into the giveaway. If you don't want to be entered into the giveaway, just put that on there if you wanted to comment about something else. So I'll pull 2 giveaway winners, and then I'll give you a choice on which color you would like to have. So that was such a fun process for me to do the swatching and record the process. I really enjoyed doing that, and I would like to do more things like that for the channel. So those will be our 2 giveaways. What else is there? I think that's pretty much it for this episode. Other than getting ready for our fall collection, we don't really have a whole lot going on other than the spooky soiree going up, and the Haunted Mansion mystery sock set going up as well. So be on the lookout for those in the next week and 2 weeks. My son Ryan started back to school yesterday. He's in 9th grade, so he started as a freshman. at our high school, and it's the same high school that I went to. So when we went to open house, it was like memories. Olivia went there as well, so it was just, it's always weird to be back there. But I'm really excited for him. He had a great first day yesterday, so I think it'll be a really fun experience for him. And that's pretty much it. That's all I really have to share with you. Thank you guys for shopping the Salty Skein sale that we had 2 weeks ago. You guys loved the salty skeins. I think we sold out all of those skeins that I showed you, sold out that day, and then I think we had a couple left, and then the next morning an order came through and purchased the rest of them. So they went not even 24 hours, they were all gone. You guys absolutely loved them, and we were so excited. We had no idea what to expect, but we were so pleasantly surprised at how much you guys loved them. So thank you so much for supporting us and shopping the Salty Skein sale. Those will definitely be back in the future. We love dyeing them and bringing those to the shop. So we might do some Halloween and Christmas salty skeins as well. So thank you guys so much again for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed making it. If you have any questions about anything, check the description box below for all the links to our shop and ways to contact us. And anything that I talked about will be linked below if I can link it. So thank you again, and I'll see you again in 2 weeks. Bye.